Yay Networks.
Welcome to Logically Irrational with my parents, Ty Strickland and Melissa Rycroft. He's a little logical.
Until I start gossiping.
And she's a little irrational.
You've got nothing.
But together, they make the perfect combo.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Logically Irrational.
We are back.
Hey Tybo.
Another week.
Another week.
Yep.
Coming to you on a Friday again.
On a Friday.
Thursday, Friday, you know.
Yep.
And yesterday was Leap Day.
It was.
February 29th, which I thought, in my mind, I thought Ava's due date was February 29th. Originally.
I don't know.
But then I looked, there was no February 29th in 2011. So I was wrong. My pregnancy brain, though, somehow...
Huh. Is it every 4 years? Is that what it is?
Ish.
Oh, it's not exact?
No, it's not exact. So I actually looked into it because I was talking... I had a Leap Day lunch celebration yesterday with one of my girlfriends.
Of course you did.
And you should have heard the conversation that we got into about, you know... Why is there a leap day? I don't understand. It's kind of like the daylight savings. Who's the person that said, this is what we have to do every 4 years, and this is the day we have to do it?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when you think about it, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So why do you think there's a leap year?
Oh, I don't have any idea.
No,
Something with
no guess?
yeah. Okay. So, has to do something with the Earth traveling around the sun.
Okay.
And every 4 years, there's a little bit of time left, and so they have to reset.
You're closer than I would have gotten if you had asked me that. So this is according to NASA. And basically, short answer is that it takes the Earth 365.25 days to orbit the sun.
So that's, yeah.
So when you do the math, obviously we say 1 year is 365 days. Every 4 years, you have that extra.
Right, so you reset.
Exactly. Now they say if we just continued life with no February 29th, no leap day, that every few hundred years, November would be in summer. So you would have Christmas in summertime. It totally messes up the entire
I buy that.
Entire calendar.
Okay.
But again, who discovered that?
I don't know. Like, you ever think about like why there are 24 hours in a day?
I mean,
like, why not make the hours shorter and there be 25?
These are people that are
a quarter.
Way smarter than
Yeah, I'm sure there's reasons for all of that.
I mean, the amount of study that it took to realize the leap year thing, you know, it's not just a day. I mean, these are years and years that people are having to calculate.
Yeah, and you know what would be
patterns.
frustrating is whenever the guy's like, I think I'm onto something. And then he has to wait 4 years
100%.
to prove it.
Right. And then probably I need to prove it. So now I've got to wait a couple 4 more year patterns that come. Anyway.
We sound real intelligent here.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And
Anyone could know that.
They were doing a thing on GMA where they had people that were born on leap year. And I guess it's a thing when you're born on leap year that you celebrate your leap year birthday and your birthday. Like there's a woman, she was like, today's my 15th birthday and my 60th birthday.
It's funny.
It's like, that's kind of fun.
Do you know anybody born on leap day? I don't think I do either.
No, I know nothing. I mean.
No one? Not that you know of.
That's boring. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. We had a great weekend. I had a long weekend. Ava and I were at a dance competition for 15 hours.
Yeah. On
Saturday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Started at 7:30 in the morning. Now I left early because Ava was spending the night with one of her dance friends, but they didn't get home until 11:30 that night.
Golly, that's crazy. From 6 a.m. you left it.
We got up at 5:30 because we had to get her up and ready. It's a season though, and now we're off for a month, and then we start again in April, where she's got more of them. We had our end of year dance party. Beckett, I don't remember Ava doing this, but I posted it online, and I guess it's a huge 4th grade thing. Let me just play the clip, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Wait, I want to record it so you can hear it.
Delete that one.
Okay. Start over.
Good job, buddy. Now, can people out there guess the song?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. the recorder is an awful instrument. It is an awful.
Well, it's just funny that he is trying so
Well,
hard.
he likes it. I was telling my friend yesterday at lunch, I was like, he legit really enjoys it. And she goes, maybe you should put him in music classes. I said, but I listen to him, and I'm not sure that he's got the natural ear.
He's fine.
He left his notes here because he told me yesterday, he goes, Mom, I learned how to play Eye of the Tiger. And I went, I bet you didn't. I bet you did not. But he left his folder that has his notes in it. And I tried playing.
Are they handwritten notes?
It's the musical notes, and then he has letters above, like B-A. B is the second
Gotcha.
whole.
Yeah,
So you can kind of figure it out. And I'm doing it, and it still sounds horrible. I'm like, why?
I don't know.
Our friend Jen Griever actually texted me that they petitioned to get recorders out of their school, and they play the ukulele, which I'm not sure the ukulele is
any better?
But
why'd they petition?
because the recorder is
Just
awful.
'cause it's loud.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
Oh, and again, I love Beckett. He's the sweetest thing, and he loves playing the recorder. I will pick him up from school, and he whips that thing out of his backpack, and on the car ride home, I'm sitting there listening to what you just heard. I'm like, oh my God, Beckett, I can't. Ava and I came home from dance last night. We opened the back door, and I heard the recorder.
Yeah,
I was like,
was doing
no, I can't do it anymore.
I mean, he's getting better.
It's hilarious to me that he really likes
Yeah, I
it.
know. I can tell the songs that he's doing now. I mean, he only has 3 of them.
Can you?
Yeah, I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 Blind Mice and Hot Cross Buns is the same song.
Right.
Have you heard Eye of the Tiger?
I haven't heard Eye of the Tiger. I don't even remember what they were. I remember he played me 3 songs last night.
He's so cute, though. So I don't know how much longer we are going to be listening to the recorder. I don't know if they do this till the end of the year. I've already had to buy him 2 new recorders.
Because he loses them?
Because he takes them out and he's playing them all day at the house, and then he can't find where he put them. Bless his little heart. Bless his heart. And then good news, I got my car back yesterday.
Yeah.
If everybody remembers, about 5 weeks ago when I got sideswiped by someone.
Somebody knows they did it.
They do know they did it. Hopefully they listen and they heard. All is well, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that collision center place was
They're great.
right
Yeah.
on it. I was getting
we send a
text
lot of stuff
messages
there.
every week. They dropped we call her Addie the caddy. They dropped Addie off at the house yesterday, picked up my rental, and just took it right back. I was like, okay. I got in her, and so the rental that I've had, it's a Hyundai Tucson, and everybody was making fun of me because I called it a Hyundai Tucson.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you never know how. No, stop. I know how you spell, but cars can be pronounced different.
Well, it's not that it's a car; it's a word.
I was in my little Hyundai.
Okay.
And she was cute. We called her Pip because she was a little pipsqueak compared to the buses that
I
I'm
never
used to
once,
driving.
for 5 weeks, never once got inside that car.
She was fine. The problem is she's a very generic looking car. She was gray, I think it's a compact SUV.
Right.
Which is great, but it doesn't fit our whole family. Like
I don't know.
I don't think that all 5 of us ever gotten that. But I'd be coming out from the store and I'm looking going, okay, she looks like that Mazda. She looks like that. I don't remember what she looks like. I'm just putting my,
You have to
my little
click the
whooper
clicker,
out.
Right.
So it felt really nice to get back in Addie yesterday.
That's good.
Big old car. She looks good. They did great. I will say, I don't think we told you, I almost got hit in the parking lot last night when I picked Ava. Literally, the first time I drove that car was to pick Ava up from dance. And I'm leaving the parking lot and I'm driving down the aisle and some car just keeps backing up. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And
I hate that.
I finally stop and I'm honking. And the car stops for a second and then continues to back up, but it's at my front end.
Why didn't you just move forward?
No, I had to go because it would have hit. I had to reverse. Like it was at my front wheel. Does that make sense? I wasn't close enough, or I wasn't far enough past where I could go. I'm looking at Ava and she's like, "Why are you honking?" I said, "Because she's going to hit my car." I said, what is going on here? Do you know how mad your daddy is going to be if I get Addie back and then come home and go, "So guess what?" It happened again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get hit.
Let's just be a little careful.
It wasn't my fault.
Okay.
That was not my fault.
Okay. Well, you can back up.
We have a date night tonight.
We do.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Steak?
no, I'm not ready right now.
Well, Miss Darcy offered. She said she has a free night and she wants to take the kids out to dinner. Usually
where are they
means
going?
Probably IHOP.
IHOP.
They
yeah.
love an international house of pancakes.
And we're going to Perry's.
And we're going to get steak.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get steak.
Yep, you are not.
I will not get steak. But Ava, I told her about it and she was, oh my gosh, Mom, that's so cute. I was like, what do you mean? Dad and I do date stuff all the
Yeah.
time. And she goes, you just seem really happy about it. It's like, okay.
Well, I am. So is your dad.
She had her, I don't even know if people care about this. We had her, so she turned 13 2 weeks ago.
Right.
We had her doctor's appointment today, her preteen. She's now in that level. She had to get blood drawn.
Oh my gosh.
Was not expecting that.
She
The
freaked out.
checkup went great. She's now like, she can interact with the doctor. The questions that he has to ask
Is
her.
it Dr. Robert?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
It's hard. I was
Well,
telling
sometimes
her.
it's the practitioner.
I was
or
like,
whatever.
he met you the day you were born, kiddo. Like
That's true.
he knows you more than anybody. But once they hit this age, like he was asking, he was like, so have you ever tried tobacco? And she's like, what? Have you ever had a drink? She's like, what? Do you smoke? I was like, oh my God. And I'm not allowed to say anything. Like
Are
I
you
can't
serious?
answer
That's crazy.
for her.
Is she laughing?
Well, she was looking at me and I said, just answer, please. I don't want CPS.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you being goofy now and making this an issue. But we were talking about it on the way home. I was like, I mean, it's really kind of sad, babe. I said, I think this is the age
There's a reason
that
they ask that.
maybe they have noticed that kids are exposed to this, whether accidentally or negligent, whatever
Right.
parents. And so they have to ask your state and how everything's going at home. And are you safe? Like they asked her, do you feel safe at home? And I went, you tell yes. You hear me?
Well, it depends.
Say yes.
That's what kind of mood mom's in.
But so then he leaves because the doctor, I mean, I love him. Our doctor is
Yeah, he's great.
fantastic.
He's
but
awesome.
the doctors don't do the bad stuff. They don't do the shots. They don't do any of that. And I had told her, I said, I think you're probably getting a shot. And I didn't know she was getting blood drawn, which is a completely different thing, you know, where they put the band on your arm and they get your vein and they're, you know, poking it. And she freaked out. Like almost to where I was like, are you going to pass out? Like, are you okay? They had her lay down and I like her face just flushed. I was like, hold my hand. I can't. I was like, Ava, babe. Oh my
She's so dramatic.
I was like, just, you're not even.
We had this conversation on the way to school yesterday, and I'm like, Ava, just don't worry about it. Don't freak yourself out about it. And then that's what she does.
She ended up, of course, the lady and the nurse, she's used to this, right? And so she goes, there you go, it's in. And she goes, oh. And I said, exactly,
Yeah,
it's in.
yeah,
They're
exactly.
pulling your blood
It's
right now.
not-
You can't even tell, right?
It's not an
Can't
issue.
even tell. And she goes, oh, okay. I was like, oh my God. Totally my kid, though.
Yep. That is 100% your kid.
Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so a reminder again, we will be here next week. We leave Friday, though, for spring break.
This next Friday?
This Friday. Like, by this time, we will be on a plane next week.
Really?
Yes. So we will be
Goodness.
gone the week after that, which is the week of my birthday, the 11th. So nobody get mad at us. We will not have a podcast that week because we're going to be out of town and skiing. Are you excited to ski?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, big time. I didn't realize it was that soon.
Yeah. I have the logistics planned.
We leave in 1 week?
Yes, our flight's
Okay.
at noon on Friday.
Okay.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Packing for a ski trip, though, is a whole different
Yeah, it's tough. When do we get back?
Thursday at noon.
Okay.
So you still have Thursday day, Friday day, Saturday, Sunday to recoup.
Awesome.
Deal?
Yep.
Okay, well, let's do this. I've got some pop news and then a little bit of reality, love.
You got it.
Okay.
Pop news time.
Ty's still freaking out about the fact that
Yeah.
we're leaving. It snuck up on us, right?
It really did. Yeah, and I've got
Yeah.
a lot of work stuff I've got to get worked out. That's okay. We'll get it done. It'll be fun.
Now you know.
Yep.
Now you know. All right, let's do some pop news. Before we really, really get into it, though, I want to address this Wendy Williams documentary that we had talked about. Obviously, I'm a huge Wendy fan. You and I started it.
Yeah.
Couldn't finish it.
Oh, are we done watching it?
I watched a little bit after. I think it was during the day while you were gone. It's really uncomfortable.
It is.
to watch. Like it's not what I thought it would be, and one of the main things, not main things, but in the episode after you and I stopped watching, she's in the car with her publicist who wants to be her manager, and it just kind of feels icky anyway. And she's like, "Hey, Wendy, do you want to go to the Oscars?" And Wendy kind of looks at her and she goes, "Who's Oscar?" And they were like, "No, the Oscars, the award show." And it takes her a minute, and she's like, yeah, okay, can I just wear this? And she's wearing, completely, she's not coherent. It's really, and especially now when you know the diagnosis and you know what's happening and you know they're filming it as this is happening.
Well, but there's also like alcohol and stuff in there as well.
There's a ton of stuff happening, right? But the thing that has come out since is that she was diagnosed about a year ago. Once they stopped filming and she went to this treatment center is when they diagnosed her with kind of all the stuff that Bruce Willis is going through. So Lifetime has had a year to know we were filming her while she was going through a mental illness and like legitimately deteriorating in front of our eyes. And they still decided to make the documentary and they still decided to air it. And usually I'm like, I just want to see it. It's hard to watch it because she's just not there. Yeah, and whether it's the alcohol or whether it's, I have no idea, but it's like I'm watching this woman.
Well, I've seen 2 episodes and there's just no point to the whole thing. It's just like watching her stumble around. Yeah. And that's sad.
She's getting mad at everybody.
Yeah. She's mean. But I kept waiting on like, okay, here we go. We're going to start this podcast or we're going to.
Well, she tried. Did you watch I can't remember if I watched it without you or if we watched it when she had a meeting with NBC Universal.
No,
and she was like, this is it. They're going to realize that they want me. And, obviously literally in the car after that meeting is when the lady is like, do you want to go to the Oscar? And she's like, what? I'm going, I can only imagine what that meeting was like in there. Anyway, it's just kind of an oogie feeling, and they're definitely getting some pushback.
How many episodes are there?
I think there's 4 total. We watched 2, and then I watched half of the 3rd before I went. I just
wonder how they're going to wrap it up. Because is there any closure?
I don't know, because I guess you're right that there really is no. I think the point originally was that we're going to show her comeback. She's either going to get this mega podcast or she's going to get a show again. And quickly, I think they realized that's not what's happening, and we're just going to document.
Yeah, if that's the case, that is sad.
It's
sad regardless, but if that's the case, it's kind of.
It's sad because I don't think she's aware. This is probably the last thing we're going to see of her. Like, I can't imagine, especially
her being on TV.
Well,
again.
with the diagnosis that she's got, we're not getting better. It's not like there's a cure and we can come back with a redemption story. Like, this is what it is, unfortunately. And I was a huge fan of Wendy Williams. Now, she was super polarizing. People loved her or hated her, but you had to give her credit that she was good at what she did, right? Yeah. She turned a radio job into a 12-year talk show that was super popular while controversial. And to go from that legacy to this is now how we're going to see her. I don't know. It just kind of feels oogie. I just wanted to say that because I feel like I was really advocating for the documentary, and I would like to retract my statement, and I am not. Don't watch it. I don't like it. Okay, this is for you, Tabo. This is Lacey from Facebook, and she wants your take on the Super Bowl streaker. Have you heard of the Super Bowl streaker?
Yes.
Okay. So the man has been identified as Alex Gonzalez, and he describes himself, he's a day trader who lives in Miami. According to him, he planned to make a prop bet that someone would streak across the field on that Super Bowl, and he decided it's going to be me. So the plan was originally to place the prop bet at Vegas. So he knew a prop bet, which we've always talked about. It's kind of a fun side off bet, right?
All sorts of stuff.
Is there going to be a streaker? Right. And he said yes, because I'm going to make sure that I'm
so
the streaker.
So you go bet on it, and then...
Right. So the issue then came when he went to go place the wager, it no longer existed. They had somehow taken it off of the ballot of what you could vote for. He says, though, at that point, he was already committed, a.k.a. he was documenting everything on social media. Like, they have a huge video from start to finish of what they've done, promoting YouTube channels. And he ran out with, like, the hashtag that he wanted.
Yeah, I saw he had something on.
Yeah. He did, though, spend $42,000 to get a front row ticket to this game. $42,000. And his friends were around him too. So his friends bought this ticket as well.
Yeah.
It's completely ridiculous. They went to a store. He bought cleats so that he could run faster and they documented this. This is the video they posted. He went to Foot Locker and said, I need
But he never
cleats.
made the bet.
He never made the bet. But he says he had been to a party the night before and was telling people like Dr. Phil, like all these celebrities, go bet on that there's going to be a streaker. There's going to be a streaker. So I don't know if maybe there was an influx in that bet and they decided to take it off. I don't know how that works with gambling, to be honest, with what they say is a bet and what's not.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. But I mean, on something like that, unless like the casino got word that this is what was going on, and then I mean they're not going to just lose money like that.
So he waited till the third quarter, took off his shirt, and then he ran out on the field.
Well, he's just an idiot now because then he has to go to jail
arrested.
and all that.
Like, he spent the night in jail.
If he would have made money on the deal, then I can understand.
I read one report that he made like $350,000, but every other report I hear is that it was not available.
So you get to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You make however $300,000
maybe,
and then the only repercussion is you have to spend the night in jail.
Right.
And then
but he didn't even make the 300.
Well, right, but if he would have, then I mean,
I'll be honest though, because they expect this, don't they? Like they know people are going to do shenanigans at big games like this. Watching the Super Bowl, we had no idea. I had no idea there was even a streaker until sweet little Lacey from Facebook posted it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, so they talked about this on sports radio, not about the guy, but they talked right after the Super Bowl how there was a streaker, and Romo mentions something about it. Not that there was a streaker, but he goes, something's happening we're not supposed to talk about.
Got it.
Because they don't want, if they show it on TV, then more people would continue to do it.
Right.
Because that's what they're going for, right? They want to get their
logo
out or
that's what he
whatever.
did. He had his hashtag, he had his @ handle, he had all of that.
So they specifically don't show it on TV.
Right. Or talk about it.
Right, or talk about it.
I don't know. But if he had made the bet and if he had won, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I would never do that, but I could totally
not saying
see
you would, but
I mean, good for him. I mean, he just made however much money he makes on it.
Some stuff like this that can be manipulated.
Well,
isn't that why Vegas is like, no, absolutely not, because you can.
Well, there are so you can bet on what color shirt the person who is singing the national anthem wears.
You always say stuff like this. When we go to Vegas, and we're going in 2-3 weeks, I would love to bet on silly stuff like that. That's right up my alley. Who's going to win this reality show?
There's more. Well, they have that too.
Where though? We never see those.
I don't know. They're like specialized.
Yeah.
And most of those are probably online, but the Super Bowl is huge. That's what they're known for, prop bets. And so,
national anthem
so if
stuff,
like, I mean, if you were singing the national anthem, you could tell me what color shirt you're going to wear, and then somebody go.
Or I'm going to make it really long.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go over 1.5 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't understand how those bets aren't like insider information. And maybe if they can tie you back to that person, I don't know how much they would look into it, but. I mean, if it's a large amount, if you're betting $100,000, they're going to look into it.
Didn't you say the year I was on All Stars? Didn't you say one of our friends?
Yeah, one of our friends bet on
me
you to win Dancing with the Stars,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
but those are the things I'm not a bettor. I don't gamble. It makes me angry. You know that. But I would bet on reality TV.
Well, so the producers of Dancing with the Stars, like they know who's going to win the show.
Oh, I didn't they have a
because they know the vote counts.
Well, they know the vote count, but
and so they have a pretty good idea if this person's a pretty good dancer and they're doubling everybody else's votes.
Right.
So that person could go tell somebody, they could go tell somebody, and then you could place a bet.
Is that how your friend heard?
Yeah, maybe.
It's interesting. It's a really interesting concept when you think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that there are differing reports that he made money on it and there's reports that he didn't. Part of me is like, I wonder if he did, but he's just saying he did not make money because he doesn't want this to be.
Well, what he would do, what if he was smart, what he would do is he would have somebody else make that bet.
Yeah.
And they would cash in the bet.
Yeah.
And then he would go through with it. Because then, can't prove that.
All right. What event can I get you to go streak for?
Well, do you remember that deal?
He brushed right over that.
Sorry. Do you remember that deal where there was like it was like a football playoffs betting thing, and somebody from The Bachelor won a bunch of money, like $1 million.
Yeah. No. They caught a ball.
No, not that.
Oh, that's not the one you're talking about. Okay, sorry.
It was a guy and his fiance, and they bet on every scenario that you could have.
I do remember this.
And you're not allowed to play in teams.
I don't remember who it was, but
yeah,
yes,
it was like
we talked about
Jade
it.
or something like that.
Oh, was it Jade and Tanner?
I think so.
Okay.
And they ended up not getting paid out, I believe. The last I heard, because they could prove that they had gone in on it together.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dang it.
But it was like $1 million or something like that.
I'll take
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyway.
All right. Well, Lacey, hope he answered your question. I'm not sure if he did. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know what the question was.
You know what? Who knows?
My thoughts on that?
Let's talk Andy Cohen real quick. I don't want to get too far into this because it's kind of dark. He's had a rough couple months. This reality reckoning, people are coming after Bravo, and it's a toxic work environment. They're providing alcohol, blah, blah. Well, Leah McSweeney, who I don't think that you would know, she was on Housewives of New York for a season. I didn't watch her either, but I know who she is from social media. So it says, quote, defendant Cohen's proclivity, is that a word?
Proclivity?
Proclivity, sure. Yeah. For cocaine usage with his employees is well known throughout the Real Housewives franchise. Defendant Cohen intentionally uses cocaine with his employees to further promote a workplace culture that thrives off drug and alcohol abuse, which leads to a failure to accommodate employees who are disabled and attempting to remain substance free. So she is saying, basically, that Andy Cohen is some of his favorite Bravo celebrities. He's partying, he's doing cocaine, and
he's fueling
this atmosphere. Brandi Glanville came out a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago now, and said that Andy Cohen sent him and Kate Chastain, they were FaceTiming, and there was some illicit, intimate behavior being intimated on this FaceTime call, and Brandi felt it completely inappropriate, where Andy came out and said she was in on the joke. Like, she came out, he was like, it was probably inappropriate to do, but Brandi was laughing at it at the time in her response. So he's denied the claims. Obviously, I would imagine that he would. Several Bravo celebrities have come out. You've got Gigi Golnesa, Kyle Richards, a bunch of the big ones have come out and said, I've known him for years. He's never asked me to do cocaine. He's never made an inappropriate joke. It is what it is. I don't know, though. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Do think there's stuff going on over there at Bravo? I do. Well, I think there's enough going on.
Yeah. I mean, the train wreck of people and...
Oh, sure.